trying to snap ourselves around here in shape and get ready to go with big action today. Hello again, everybody. Championship Wrestling just about to begin. Dave Brown and Lance Russell right along ringside, and Davey looks like a dandy today.
Oh, we have a full card today. Opening match, Jerry Ralph will be in here. He will be going against Ken Lucas in a single match. Then Tony Eaton takes on Rick Gibson. It'll be Jimmy Valiant going against Robert Gibson in a single match. Steve Regal, Rick Morton as a tag team. They'll be going against the Big Assassins. And then in the expiration of time match today, Sugar Bear Harris, Bill Smithson taking on Paul Ellering and the superstar Bill Dundee.
And I'll tell you what, we have got everybody that is anybody that is here today on Championship Wrestling. For a fact, Dave, I'd like to say something else. There's been a big controversy about the assassins from the home of champions, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and their mask and using something in their mask and all. And I will tell you there's a controversy. I don't have to tell you. I think most of you wrestling fans. We've had a discussion, and the assassins have said, we want to show you what we have developed internally, a karate-type move with our head and all. And they have acknowledged that they will, in fact, give a demonstration today, which we're going to be interested in seeing on Championship Wrestling, because I've got a question or two I want to ask them about it. All of that coming up a little bit later. Let's get ready for Ken Lucas stepping in here in the ring on Championship Wrestling. Back in just a moment.
And I want you to get a free autographed picture of me, Bill Dundee, in person at Winter Furniture, Sunday, February the 24th at 1 to 4 p.m. Register to win a free living room suite. I want you to be at Winter Furniture, Sunday, February the 24th, 1 to 4 p.m., because I'll be there to shake your hand. Winter Furniture, 2530 Dixie Highway.
A one-fall, 15-minute time limit match from Nashville, Tennessee, 263 pounds. On the left of your screen, Jerry Ralph. And going against him from Las Vegas, Nevada, 221 pounds, Ken Lucas. One fall, 15-minute time limit match, referee Paul Morton.
Okay, the referee says let's get them off, get ready, bell time. And here we go with the opening bell.
Kenny Lucas, Jerry Ralph. Ralph with a headlock. Lucas puts him into the rope, bottom part of the foot, upper part of the arm, and Jerry Ralph's on the mat. Ken Lucas drops with the lower leg. Lucas up. Lucas with the hold, breaks it now. Drops Ralph back down to the mat. Kenny firing that lower leg in there. That's legal long as they use the point of the knee. There's a knee lift. And Jerry Ralph hits the mat. Ken Lucas got to be a heavy favorite. He's giving away considerable weight. There's a cover. One. Count is two, and that's all he gets. 2 count. Jerry Ralph into the rope. Ken Lucas with the foot as he came off of there. Been all Ken Lucas so far. We're a minute 15 seconds into the action. Cover. 1, 2. Right shoulder up. Jerry Ralph prevents the 3 count. He rolled just enough to get his right shoulder up off the mat. Ken Lucas with the knee lift puts Jerry Ralph down to the mat. Ken round behind. Sleeper hold. Let's see. Referee Paul Morton right there checking it out. This is probably going to be it. Yeah. Referee says ring the bell. That is it. Ken Lucas got around behind him and got the sleeper hold on Jerry Ralph. And Kenny steps through the ropes without waking Ralph up. Referee handling that. Jerry Ralph slowly coming back around. So the win goes to Ken Lucas in 2 minutes, 18 seconds of action.
I'll tell you what, when you get in there with Ken Lucas, you got action. That's
yes, sir.
a living fact right there.
All the way.
We got plenty more of it, too. We're going to have a chance to see Rick Gibson in action, and we'll be back to that right after we take time out for this. Big action coming up Tuesday night right there in the Louisville Gardens, and by golly, we'll tell you a little bit later on the entire card. A couple of 3 matches I want to mention. It's going to be a Southern heavyweight title match when Rick Gibson challenges handsome Jimmy Valiant. Also, the final bout, the Assassins will be going against Ken Lucas and Billy Robinson. And there's another match on there that you're going to understand a little bit later. It's going to be Bill Dundee against Paul Ellering. Bill Ellering is big, and right now he seems to be hot. He wants some of Dundee.
I don't know why he's hot. I never did nothing to the man. Let me tell you something, Paul Ellering. If you beat me in a wrestling match, I'll be the first guy, and it doesn't matter who beats me, anybody at all, I'll be the first guy to get up and shake your hand if that's what you want to do, brother. But the way I got beat by Sugar Bear Harris took an awful lot of help from you. I didn't appreciate you dropping me on my head, son. Now, if somebody told me you went to college on a wrestling scholarship where you can forget all about the wrestling, because I'm coming to fight you, Ellering, I got a point to prove to you, because I already know I can beat you, and the people down there know I can beat you, and I'm going to prove it to you, son.
Tuesday night, Louisville, right there in the Gardens. You'll see it. Bill Dundee and Ellering. Stay tuned, because you'll want to see the whole thing. Here's something I want to see Tuesday night. This man, Rick Gibson, going to be going for that Southern heavyweight title. Look out for a handsome Jimmy Valiant, Rick.
You said it right, Lance. Look out for him. Let me say this to you, Hanson. If you're watching this, brother, you better be looking out for me come Tuesday night at the Gardens, because it's going to be my night. It's my time. You know, Lance, I held this title here before about 3 years ago. For about 6 months, I beat the King, Jerry Lawler, for it. I don't think you're no better man than he is, Hanson. So you bring it down to the Gardens Tuesday night, and you come loaded as a bear if you want to, my friend, because I will be loaded too. I'll be out there at 110%, my friend, and I'm going to walk away with that title.
I'll tell you what, he's taken on just as good as there is in this country, and he's beat an awful lot of them. Handsome Jimmy will have to contend with Rick Gibson when that Southern heavyweight title match goes on the line. Right now, let's take time and get back into action on Channel 3's Championship Wrestling.
We're about ready to go with a 1-fall 15-minute time limit match. Rick Gibson up in the ring right now, and his opponent stepping up onto the ring apron right now, Tony Eaton. A shocking pink robe on. As soon as he climbs in here, we'll be ready with the official introductions. From Cedar Rapids, Iowa, 237 pounds, Tony Eaton on the left of your screen. And on the right of your screen, from Pensacola, Florida, 228 pounds, Rick Gibson. This match will be a 1-fall 15-minute time limit, and there is no referee in the ring as just yet.
Hey, look, I'll handle this part. You get up and referee in there.
That's all right. Why don't we just wait until someone finds one of the referees?
Okay. Rick Gibson, go ahead and ring it, Rick. We don't need a referee. Rick Gibson in there sitting on ready. Tony Eaton, that's the big guy that he's going to be going against right there. And he is a large one. Here comes the referee, and we are about ready for action as soon as he hops up in there and gives us the big word. The big word is ring it. Here we go. Wrestling action time. Rick Gibson right out with that rolling arm lock, hooks Eaton and takes him over. Yes, thank you.
Gibson moving Eaton around pretty much at will early in the match here.
Eaton, Dave, did I catch the weight right? 237?
Yeah, that weight was wrong on Tony Eaton, as a matter of fact.
Boy, he is
he's going to weigh, I would say, probably closer to the 257 mark than the 237
yeah, you're right.
mark.
260, right? He looks about the same size as Jerry Rouse, so that would put him up in that 263, 257, so forth. When you get up to that point, 5-6 pounds,
no, it doesn't make a lot of
difference.
That's right.
Doesn't seem to be bothering Rick Gibson, oh boy. He has got control, experience, and he drops it down with a lower leg and uses the bottom of the foot. Tony Eaton. And with a front face lock. That chancery is really pulled up by Gibson. Look at him bend on that thing. Woohoo! Rick tuning up those skills in there against Tony Eaton. Eaton trying to find a way. Maybe he goes for a leg. Rick steps back. No way to take it out there. Rolls him over one. But that's it. The big fella shakes Gibson before he can get a 3 count. Rick with a side mare takes Eaton down. His shoulders hit the mat, but were right up. Referee Paul Morton gave him a 1 count out of it, but that's about it. And here comes Big Tony Eaton using that forearm of his. He slams with it. Whip. And look at that flying press. 1, 2, 3. Rick Gibson right up on top of it as he came through with a flying press. Eaton had whipped him into the ropes, and he was making an effort, but just not quite in the class of the Gibson boy.
Rick pressed him down, and he was able to get enough of his own body weight over the shoulders, and there was no way Eaton was going to break that cover there. Minute 57, the time on it.
1:57. Rick Gibson looking well. Right in there in the action ring. We've got plenty more of it coming because Mercy, Handsome Jimmy is around the corner. We'll be back to it in just a moment.
We're just about ready to go. Jimmy Hart in here with Handsome Jimmy Valiant. Also in the ring, Robert Gibson. The referee is there this time, and we are just about ready to get this one underway. It's going to be a one-fall match. Handsome Jimmy and Jimmy Hart are on the floor. Preparation for the upcoming match. Oh, there's the eyes coming off. And the headband. And there he is. The belt coming off.
Take that ribbon from your hair, shake it loose and let it fall. Woo! I love it, baby.
Oh. Number one like it. Thank goodness.
Whoa!
One fall, 15-minute time limit match coming up. From Pensacola, Florida, 226 pounds, Robert Gibson. And from the Big Apple, New York City, at 239 pounds, Handsome Jimmy Valiant. One fall, 15-minute time limit match. Referee Jerry Calhoun.
This obviously a non-title bout. Handsome Jimmy's Southern Heavyweight crown is not on the line. Receiving some last-minute instructions from Jimmy Hart, who is now down off the ring after Robert Gibson comes over. Bell time, and we're off and running.
Should be a good one. Robert Gibson, young man out of Pensacola, Florida. And Jimmy Valiant. That's a wrestling move. All right. It looks suspiciously like a stall. Now we're into action. Back into the turnbuckle. Handsome Jimmy drops the broad arm, but Robert Gibson was gone. Backed into the ropes. Clean break by Robert Gibson. Handsome Jimmy pulled that fist back, and Robert Gibson popped him. Back into the turnbuckle. Handsome Jimmy. He's going to try the body drag. Going to throw Robert across the ring. Robert hung onto the turnbuckle, reverses it, but instead it's Handsome Jimmy that bounces on his back across the ring. Valiant out of the ring. Conference with Jimmy Hart. Jimmy trying to explain to the audience exactly what happened, his version of it. Valiant back through the ropes into the ring. Robert Gibson waiting for him there. Oh. Handsome one. Has something in his right hand there. Robert Gibson asking the referee to check Handsome Jimmy over. Come on, Jimmy, open the hands. Nothing there. Robert Gibson winding up that left arm, and Handsome Jimmy hits the mat right in the center of the ring. There is Handsome Jimmy Valiant. Robert Gibson drops down, a little extra pressure on that left arm and shoulder. 3 minutes, 10 seconds gone. The overall time limit on this one is 15 minutes, one fall only. The rope. Oh, good move by Handsome Jimmy. But it's answered by Robert Gibson. Robert takes Valiant down and to the mat. Robert Gibson. Oh, a little extra heat there. Applied to Handsome Jimmy. 4 minutes gone. Robert Gibson seems to be pretty well in control. Oh, off the ropes. Handsome Jimmy with the knee to the midsection. Big broad arm by Valiant. Gibson whipped into the turnbuckles. Valiant in there after him with a right hand doubled up. Robert, slapped on the mat by Handsome Jimmy. Right fist. Valiant hops him into the ropes again. Robert hangs on. Brought the foot up. Caught Jimmy right under the chin with it. And that broke Valiant's momentum, at least for the moment. Robert Gibson. Oh, he fires him into the turnbuckle. Valiant out of the ring.
Handsome Jimmy goes to Out Avenue right there as he got out of that ring.
You're watching him. You see the right hand there. Handsome Jimmy back in the ring. Robert Gibson. Oh. Slugged with that right hand and whatever.
Referee Jerry Calhoun trying to control Jimmy Hart, and that's a full-time job with Hart and Valiant around the ring.
Robert slammed into the ring post. Robert Gibson down on the floor. Handsome Jimmy still up in the ring. Jimmy Hart out of his chair, wandering around the ring, but referee Jerry Calhoun sees him about halfway around and says, hey, back over to that chair and sit down. Meanwhile, Valiant down on the floor slams Robert's head into the other ring post. Gibson on the floor. Jimmy Hart slipping around there again. He's placed back in the chair by the referee. Valiant out on the apron. Taunting Gibson, saying, come on, get back in here. We're close to 7 minutes. 6 minutes 55 right now. Robert Gibson, well, his head's cut, and no wonder. It's bounced off the ring post twice.
There's Handsome Jimmy's New York style of wrestling in there.
Valiant pops him into the turnbuckle. Robert Gibson definitely in trouble. 7 minutes, 40 seconds into the action. Valiant all over him in the corner. Breaks just enough to prevent a disqualification and then right back to work in the turnbuckles.
Fighting back.
Valiant using the hair, holding Gibson back on the rope. Oh, from outside, Jimmy Hart and his cane. Valiant asking for the cane from Jimmy Hart. The referee trying to get Hart to sit down. Meanwhile, here comes Rick Gibson in from outside. That's going to be a disqualification on Robert. Robert's going to lose it by disqualification, but Rick Gibson will try to get some satisfaction here out of handsome Jimmy Valiant and manager Jimmy Hart. And the Gibson brothers together have got him out of the ring now. All right, the official ruling from the referee, and that is what it's going to be. Valiant will get the win by disqualification. Time 8 minutes, 59 seconds, 8:59.
Yeah, Rick Gibson doing what comes naturally when he saw all the shenanigans going on with his brother Robert in there. Robert, as you pointed out, had his head wrapped off of that ring post a couple of times and was bleeding about the head, and Rick just came in and at least protected the hide of his brother, and can't say that I blame him one bit. Disqualification goes to handsome Jimmy. We've got more wrestling action coming up. We'll see the Mighty Assassins in here in just one moment. We're going to be back in the ring on Channel 3's Championship Wrestling here in just a moment. I want to give you the entire card. I mentioned a couple of bouts just a few moments ago in the Garden Tuesday night in Louisville. Listen to the entire card. Rick Morton will be taking on the Iranian Assassin. Then it'll be Steve Regal and Robert Gibson going against, man, what a big team this is, Sonny King and Sugar Bear Harris. Then it'll be Bill Dundee and Paul Ellering, and one that'll settle some things. You'll understand a little bit more about that a little later on. Southern heavyweight title match. Handsome Jimmy Valiant will be defending against Rick Gibson. And then the final bout. Well, this one's just going to be a straight grudge match, my friends. No title at stake or anything. It will be Billy Robinson, Ken Lucas, going against the Mighty Assassins. And you better believe that Billy Robinson and Ken Lucas are going to be in there to do some big hurt on some big guys, the Assassins. All of it takes place right there in the Louisville Gardens Tuesday night. Make your plans to be there now.
There's Jim.
We're ready to go with action in the ring or just out of it. We made the announcement earlier in the program, in the opening of Championship Wrestling, that we had talked to the Assassins about their mask and their head, and they had agreed that they were going to make a demonstration for us. And so we are now ready for the scheduled Assassin Steve Regal and Rick Morton match. And that should be some doggone good tag team action in there, as the Assassins, the big holders of the AWA Southern Tag Team titles, will be going against Regal and Morton in here. Let's get them in and we'll see if we can find out exactly how about the demonstration you guys have agreed to in there, because we had some questions we wanted to ask.
Well,
and
of course. There's been a lot of controversy throwing around the masks. The controversy comes down to 1 or 2 points, and one point is that supposedly everybody's saying that we're putting objects in our masks to hit people with. Now, we're going to deny this because this is a falsehood, but put out by these other wrestlers. Now, secondly, my partner here has one of the hardest heads in professional wrestling. He's developed one of the hardest heads, and the reason that we are here today to show the people exactly how hard his head is. Right here, we have some boards. Get down here and show them. Now, these boards here are pine wood. They're very solid. As you can see, this man weighs over 300 pounds and he's standing on the wood. He's going to bust these boards with his head.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Wait.
Wait a second.
Now, there's one thing. There's a couple of guys that we're supposed to wrestle on TV today. It's a little out of their class, you know. And we believe in keeping people in their place. You understand what I mean? A lot of people step out of line. They need to stay in their place. After we put them in their place, we'll show you what we're going to do to these boards.
You don't want to do this now. You want to wait till after the match to do it?
We got some people to put back into their spot.
Okay, you're not going to back out on it now.
We're going to get the blood flowing. We're going to get the adrenaline there so that this is possible. And there's going to be no more controversy and no more of these people saying things derogatory about the assassins.
Okay, you guys have said it now. You won't back out on it, and we're going to have the demonstration. Boy, I'll tell you what, that's a healthy set of boards that they got laying over there. They said they would rather do the match and then make the demonstration on it, Dave. So there's not a whole lot else we can do, so we'll respect their wishes on what the kitchen decide. Looking forward to this match anyhow. Steve Regal and Rick Morton obviously giving away a lot of weight, but boy, what a team. Okay, Davey.
It'll be one fall, 15-minute time limit. Introducing from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, at a total weight of 590 pounds, the Assassin. Going against them at a total weight of 417 pounds, from Nashville, Tennessee, Rick Morton. And from Indianapolis, Indiana, Steve Regal. This match, one fall, 15-minute time limit. And the referee is Paul Morton.
Okay, I think we got it boiled down to action time, Bill, and here we go. We're going to be looking forward to Regal in there, and I can't really see. I think it's Assassin number 1, but it's hard to identify. Yeah, okay.
That is.
He's the bigger of the two, right? And fired into the turnbuckle by Regal. The Assassins, big as they are, Dave, it's amazing how well they do move. They have...
It's a good move by Regal, reversal on the whip.
Well, there's never any question about how Regal moves. Fine athlete.
Assassin round behind. Well, look at Regal move.
Steve was a fine athlete at Indiana State. I'm almost certain that was the college. That was Larry Bird's college. Steve preceded Bird there. He was an excellent football player.
Assassin down to the mat briefly, but then on his feet over to the corner for the tag. Ooh. Boy, these guys can hurt you there, too. The double team on the exchange.
Look at that leapfrog. Aha! And a drop kick. Boy, that Regal can go from a standing spot right up in the air, a good 4.5, 5 feet. Fire that drop kick. He's a beauty.
Double up again as the Assassins tag out. A minute and a half into the action.
Regal tags his young partner, Rick Morton, who comes in there. And look at Rick with that bar right over backward. He takes the Assassin number 2 down.
Rick gives away weight to just about every opponent he faces in the ring, but weight's about all he gives away.
Yeah, that doesn't slow him down, does it?
No, not at all.
He goes. Look at that. Beautiful. Drop kick from Rick Morton. Nice tag out from the Assassins. Give them credit now. You got to say, these guys work together as well as any tag team that you'll see around. They've got so many things going for them. And a few of them are legal.
That wasn't, but it backfired on him. He was going to fire that right fist to the top of Rick Morton's head, but Rick ducked out of the way.
Morton into a front face lock on the Assassin, but he just picks Morton straight up. Fires him back into the corner. Woo, comes in, and Morton is gone before he gets there.
That was similar to the atomic knee drop. different configuration on it, but still, it's not easy on the lower back.
Coming off the ropes, Rick Morton takes a foot to the midsection. Big Assassin drops with that lower leg. Whip. Puts that shoulder down. Morton loses the contest. 193 pounds to 300. Won't get it.
No way.
Not in that kind of meeting. Straight up in the air. The Assassin drops Rick down, but he's right over by the ropes. No, he'll never get a pin out of that one.
3.5 minutes gone.
Morton comes up fighting. Tag between the Assassins. Number 2 comes in. Hammering with that big upper arm. And there's a tag on Steve Regal.
Yeah.
Oh, Regal stretched out on a drop kick. He had him off balance and puts him down. Over the top, Regal goes. Oh, and they are both down. Regal had the momentum going, Dave, and he nailed him with one shoulder but put him down. The Assassin's outside the ring, and we have had a little switcheroo. Take a look now at the Assassin. This is where we've been having the argument with him. To the head he goes. Here's Ken Lucas and Billy Robinson back. We're going to have Billy out a little bit later. Lucas, Billy Robinson in. Ring the bell, the referee says. It's going to be a disqualification, I'm sure, with Lucas and Robinson coming in, jumping the Assassins. They're out on the floor out here. The match is officially over with. Billy Robinson going at the Assassin number 1. Breaks one of the boards over. Robinson again going after the Assassin. Come on, let's get it broken up. Paul, see if you can get him in there. Ken Lucas, Billy Robinson came fired into the ring. The Assassin going after Lucas with a board. Billy, who has recovered from a broken arm at the hands of the Assassins. Lucas breaks a board over the Assassins. Robinson continuing after Assassin number 1. Kenny with that fall. Robinson tearing the mask of the Assassin. And the Assassin's out, yeah. Okay, hey, come on, that's enough. Yeah. See if you can just get them on out here. We don't need it. Yeah, that's enough. That's all. We don't need any more. Okay, let's keep down. Billy, we really, I mean, you got too much class for the street fighting like that, and we just...
Don't you talk to me about class and street fighting. I've been hurt badly. All my adult life, I've abided by the rules because I believed in wrestling. Well, you can forget the wrestling. I got this man here as a partner because he's a street fighter. He's a fighting man. And that's all you want to see from me is a fight, no matter whether it be in a railway station, an airport, a gymnasium, in the ring. I'm sorry about your TV show here. I don't give a damn about it. Okay. They are going to get... No, I'm not saying it.
Okay. Billy Robinson, Ken Lucas. Officially, Dave, I think it went to...
the Assassins in 436.
Yeah, on a disqualification in there. And so we're going to take time out, get it back together, and we'll be back with more Championship Wrestling in just a moment. Okay. We're going to be in the action with our tag team match coming up in just a moment. We'll have the Superman and the Superstar and the strong man out of Melrose, Minnesota, Paul Ellering, going in it. Hey, Billy. Hey, Bill. Bill. Bill, can we get you over here? Bill Dundee. Billy, we'll stop you on the way to the ring here. I want to make an explanation because a lot of people have asked me in connection with the situation of the CWA World Heavyweight title, and that is the association rule that in that match that you had with Lawler, the belt, immediately it was a disqualification. The belt cannot change hands, and so the belt is not held up. It is Lawler's because the disqualification took place before it, and that may be some measure of a disappointment, Bill, but I think it is a just ruling.
Let me tell you this. It's a disappointment in one way, and in one way it's not, because I didn't want the belt on a disqualification. Jerry Lawler knew exactly what he was doing when he done it. The minute you do that to the referee, the match is over. The belt stays with the champion, right? Lawler, I told you was a paper champion. You haven't proved nothing to me or nobody else out there. You're a joke as the world champion wrestler. You don't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch. Everybody around the country knows he's a joke. I'm glad to give it back to you, son, because when I get it, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring.
Billy, I want to wish you a lot of luck in your I know you've got a return match with Lawler in Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky in the future in there, and that should be a dandy. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Lance. You're going to shake the hand of the next world champion.
Okay.
Let's go, Paul.
Bill, thank you very much in there. Bill Dundee, and we wanted to make the explanation of the situation regarding the world.
Hey, Lance.
Yeah, Paul.
What about me? You call Bill Dundee out here, and you talk to him, but you don't talk to me. I like to know what the story is.
I was just trying to make an explanation involving the World Heavyweight title out there. Paul, we're always glad to see you and looking forward to seeing you in action.
Let me tell you something. I'm getting sick and tired of the way business is being handled around here. You guys are treating me like I'm a punk wrestler. Well, I've wrestled everybody that Bill Dundee has wrestled, and I've beat just as many men as Bill Dundee has wrestled. And look at this patch. This patch says I'm a champion. And I deserve some interview time, Lance.
Hey, we respect it, and, well, I'll tell you, what do you think about the match coming up here today, Paul? Okay, Dave, let's go with the next bout, okay?
All right. This is going to be an expiration of time match, introducing at a total weight of 530 pounds. From Nashville, Tennessee, Bill Smithson. His partner from West Palm Beach, Florida, Sugar Bear Harris. And going against him at a total weight of 449 pounds from Melrose, Minnesota, Paul Ellering. And from Australia, the superstar, Bill Dundee. This match will be to the expiration of time. Referee is Jerry Calhoun.
Okay. Billy coming out of it there. I'm sorry for the misunderstanding on Paul's part. We were simply trying to make an explanation, answer some questions from the folks. Okay, bell time. Here we go with action underway.
Smithson starts against Dundee, the superstar. Back Smithson onto the rope. Broke it quickly, though, back to the center of the ring. Little Australian. He sends Smithson back to the corner, and Smithson makes the tag, and this is Sugar Bear Harris. Harris out of Florida. He ran into the Australian drop kick. Sugar Bear Harris hanging back close to the ropes. Somewhat amazed, perhaps, at Bill Dundee. Dundee over to his corner. He tags Paul Ellering. Boy, Paul having a bad day or something. He wasn't too thrilled to be tagged there, he didn't look like. He's back to the corner immediately and tags Bill Dundee. Sugar Bear draws back the right fist. Bill Dundee caught his arm. Dundee puts him down. This Harris big and solid. He weighs in at 301 pounds all by himself. Harris trying to roll Dundee's shoulders down, but the referee wouldn't start the count because Harris was pulling tights. Same situation, pulling tights. No count. Harris had his shoulders pinned to the mat for a count of 1. We're 2 minutes into this one. Bill Dundee against Sugar Bear Harris. Dundee drops him to the mat. Bill Dundee round behind. Harris got to his feet quickly, but Dundee. Ellering again takes the tag, but seemed to be a little reluctant about it. Sugar Bear Harris trying to get to his partner, Bill Smithson, for a tag. Ellering got him pretty far away from the corner, though. Again, Harris trying the reversal. Ellering back over to the corner, the tag on Bill Dundee. Dundee jumps him from behind. Harris forces Dundee over to the corner. Now it's Bill Smithson from outside, Sugar Bear Harris inside. They do make a tag, and Harris goes back to the corner. Bill Smithson back in. That looks suspiciously like a choke by Smithson. Dundee breaks out of it on his own, though. On his feet, waiting for the drop kick, but he missed it as Smithson hung onto the ropes. Dundee picked up in the air. Body slam. Bill Smithson back to the ropes. Little momentum, and he drops down with the upper arm. There's a cover. 1, 2. 2 count, and Dundee able to get some strength together and break the cover.
Dave, the crowd was hollering, "Go, Bill, go," and they were talking, I'm sure, to Dundee, but I think Smithson took it for himself. Boy, he really started to come on there.
That's right. 2 Bills. Bill Dundee, Bill Smithson. That's Sugar Bear Harris in here against Bill Dundee right now. Ooh. Dundee taking some punishment here in the last couple of minutes from both Smithson and Harris. Try to get to the corner. Hand outstretched. I must say he wasn't given much help by Ellering there. Ellering standing there with his hand on his hip. Ooh. Oh, Dundee plants the foot, prevented his head from smacking the turnbuckle. Sugar Bear Harris grabs him from behind. Dundee to the corner. Ellering refused to tag.
Ellering fed him right back into Sugar Bear and Smithson.
Ooh. Count of 2, broken at the 2 count. Dundee off the ropes. Upper arm by Sugar Bear Harris. Referee Jerry Calhoun verifies it was upper arm, not point of the elbow. We are right now 5 minutes into the action. Harris makes the tag, and this is Bill Smithson. Smithson with the right hand. He popped Dundee. Cocoa butt from outside by Sugar Bear Harris. He takes the tag, steps through the ropes.
Five and a half minutes into action as we come up on the 6-minute mark. Big Sugar Bear, man, he's a large one.
He is big.
Dundee a hard way to go.
Oh, Dundee kicked him back into the ropes. The Sugar Bear quickly back to his feet. It prevents Dundee from getting over to the corner, and the tag on Paul Ellering. Tag made, and Bill Smithson is in there now. 6 minutes gone right now.
This is not a tag match, Dave. It's a handicap match for Dundee going against Smithson and Sugar Bear. He's going to have a word or two to straighten out. Woohoo, almost.
He was close to that 3 count. Smithson almost had him pinned. And again, Dundee reaches for the tag, and Ellering says, go on back in there. Dundee's head met the knee of Sugar Bear Harris. Harris, big 301-pounder, working on a 214-pound Bill Dundee. Dundee gets the drop kick.
Beauty.
Heads to the corner. And again, Ellering refuses a tag. Dundee upset with Ellering. You can understand that. Now, Ellering grabs Dundee. Ellering puts a suplex on his own partner. That's it. Count of 3.
See how good Bill Dundee does by himself. See how good the little man does. He can't do nothing by himself. He's nothing but a Humpty Dumpty wrestler.
All right, fine. We're going to take time out here, and we're going to be back right after this. I think by now you've probably seen the incident that took place yesterday in the taping with Bill Dundee and Paul Ellering. We've got Paul Ellering here, and I just wanted to say, and that's all I want to say, is you're going to be going against Bill Dundee in Louisville Gardens Tuesday in the battle there. It was a misunderstanding, the whole thing, but you walked out on it.
Make no mistake about it, Lance. There was no misunderstanding. You people saw what your big, small-town big hero can do by himself. He can't do nothing. That's right, he can't do nothing. He probably can't even tie his boots by himself. Now, Lance, I ask you, you saw what he did. What do you think he can do against me alone? Look at that arm, Lance. Look at this body. Just look. Look at that. Look at the back. Look at the back. Look at the back. That back set a world record, Lance. You think I can't pick that little runt up? You don't think I can't pick that little runt up and set him about 10 feet up in the air? I can, Lance.
Okay,
hey, brother, you better believe I can do it, and I'm gonna do it.
You just have to prove it. Tuesday night there in the Gardens. And it'll be Rick Gibson taking on the Southern Heavyweight Champion, and we're talking about handsome Jimmy Valiant, who's going to have it on the line when Rick Gibson will stepping in there trying to take that very belt away.
The most beautiful sound in the world is the sound of one's own name. Handsome Jimmy, handsome Jimmy. But there's a few exceptions, like yourself, Lancer, and Rickett Gibson. Can you imagine being labeled with the name Rickett Gibson? Brother, you ain't got a chance in life from birth. Your mama named you Rickett Gibson, and you've been a loser ever since. If you think you're gonna take this belt away from handsome Jimmy, brother, you're gonna lose again. Woo! Mushy.
That's what it's all about. See it. That got a wild and woolly championship wrestling show here today, Dave. We said right at the very beginning of it that we were going to have a board-splitting demonstration by the Assassins. I didn't really realize it was going to be exactly in the form that it took place, and neither did they.
I don't think they did either.
No,
That's
no,
absolutely right.
But our time is up, and we really are not going to have time. Plus the fact, with a situation where we end up with 3-on-1 on Dundee, I don't think Billy is. One thing I'll say about Billy, he isn't crazy enough to say I can go in, I can beat those 3 guys or anything like that. He's a realist in there. He'll give any one of them a fit in there, and maybe 1.5 he'll take. But when you start talking about jumping 3 guys in there, so I assume let's take a look at the action we had today.
In the opener today, Ken Lucas going against Jerry Ralph. It was Lucas all the way. He won it in 2 minutes, 18 seconds. Rick Gibson against big Tony Eaton. Similar situation here. Rick Gibson pretty well in control of the match, and he won it in 1 minute, 57 seconds. Handsome Jimmy Valiant going against Robert Gibson. Well, in this one, Robert, his head was run into the ring post a couple of times, and he got a cut on it. Valiant was really working him over with assistance from manager Jimmy Hart over in the corner.
Mention that?
Not necessarily in the corner. He was all around the ring, as a matter of fact. But
walking stick.
Yeah, all of that. And finally, Rick Gibson came in to rescue his brother or keep him from getting hurt any worse, so that disqualification gives the win to Jimmy Valiant. Then the Assassins against Steve Regal and Rick Morton. Regal and Morton going pretty good against him, but then Ken Lucas and Billy Robinson with a score to settle, they jumped in there and grabbed the boards that the Assassins were going to use for the demonstration And that one turned into kind of a brawl, too. And since it was Robinson and Lucas interfering, then the disqualification went against Steve Regal and Rick Morton, so the Assassins, again, are the official winners of that match. Sugar Bear Harris and Bill Smithson against Bill Dundee and Paul Ellering in the expiration of time match. But in this one, it turned into 3-on-1 as Paul Ellering was upset over interview procedures around here and turned that into kind of a battle against Bill Dundee. He jumped Bill Dundee, and there's no way Bill could stay in there, as you said, 3 against 1. So the win goes to Sugar Bear Harris and Bill Smithson.
Yeah, I got to feel that you had it right, that Paul was having a bad day, man, because there wasn't any real call for misinterpreting that as slighting him. Anyhow, we're out of time right now. For Dave Brown, until we see you next week, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
Announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the Jarrett Welch Wrestling Company.